All right, folks. Welcome to the Monsters, Madness, and Magic podcast. I'm your host, Justin, here with a quick word before we dive in. Now, in this episode, I chat with vocalist Robert Lowe about troublemaking in his youth in Texas, growing up on horror movies, the origins of Solitude Aeturnus, landing the gig singing for Candlemass, Manowar, and more. As always, thank you all for listening out there. And without further ado, here you go. Rob, just to get started here, take us back in time. You're a youngster, you're a book reader, fort builder, troublemaker, or all the above.
Actually would be all of the above.
That's my favorite answer.
It actually would be. I mean, goddamn, man. Yeah, you ask me stuff like that. It's like the best way to answer that question is go, what have you not done with all of it?
What kind of troublemaking we talking about?
Oh, not so much. Actually, though, I wasn't a troublemaker. I'd say I was a pretty good kid. The only thing I did was ride dirt bikes and horses.
So you grew up in Texas, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, Central Texas, kind of in the Dallas Fort Worth area. You know, Dallas is here, Fort Worth. My hands are backwards on the screen, so Dallas. Anywho, yeah, but kind of right back in there in North Central Texas.
Gotcha. A lot of places to build forts out there.
Oh, for sure, and we did. We actually dug this. This interview is going went left side real quick. Yeah, we my buddy next door. They had a bunch of railroad ties. We decided to build a fort, so we dug like 30 feet into the ground and then laid the railroad ties up on top for the roof, and then covered it in dirt. And we had to go through a little hole to get up in there.
Damn. That sounds cool. I like that kind of stuff. I more did my fort building in the woods, pine straw, limbs, and stuff like that.
Yeah, oh hell yeah! And then wake up covered in ticks, you know.
I was just going to say one time I went out there in just my underwear building a fort and had chiggers in the no spot.
uh, no, that ain't nice. That ain't nice. Well, I'll say we all been there, but
So you said you're all the above. What sort of books did you like? Did you have an author or a genre you leaned towards early on?
geez, okay. So now you got me thinking. Obviously, there's no obvious, but stuff like anything Tolkien did, right? Like Silmarillion is one of my favorite books, but I would read just about anything that passed, even dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever came in front of me, I'd jump into it because knowledge is important, and it doesn't matter. I could take any book off this shelf right now and go, "Shit, I didn't know that."
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I don't really like to use the word fantasy or like Dungeons and Dragons and shit like that because I just don't really go down that path so much. But just stuff to explore your mind with, whatever it might be.
Right. And would you consider yourself a collector of books? Because recently I was speaking with a gentleman who said he had 17,000 books, but he hadn't read most of them. But just in case, if he wanted to know something, it's there.
It's on the shelf, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was. I mean, I've moved around so much lately that shit gets lost. Shit gets put here, put over there, gone. But yeah, I would say I had a pretty good collection of books in general. But this
Mm.
moment, not so much. Just a lot of time on the road and moving around. You end up learning to lighten your load. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Are you in Texas now? Is that where you're staying?
no, as a matter of fact, I'm in Norway.
Wow.
Yeah,
Not quite Texas.
not quite. It's about 4,500 miles away. Yeah, I'm on a little island in the west of Norway called Boomlo.
What was the catalyst for that move?
Pretty?
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just a thing. I've lived in Stockholm. I've lived in Amsterdam, Minnesota, Phoenix, California for a while. You name it. But yeah, I found a lovely lady, and now I'm 4,500 miles away.
That'll do it. Yeah. Rob, when you think back to maybe formative films and TV shows you grew up on, what comes to mind?
Shit, man, you asking all the hard questions.
We'll get to the easy ones, I promise.
How far back do you want to go?
As far as you can remember. See, I like to start at the beginning and work my way up.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. Now, this is going to put some age on me, but when I was in kindergarten, when I lived in Bedford, Texas, I used to walk home from school because back in those days you could, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And come home, first thing I put on every day, the Monkees. It was on Channel 13, PBS, you know. Watch the Monkees, Zoom, Addams Family, you know, whatever. It didn't matter at the time. And then fast forward, I'll just go ahead and skip about 452 years. I don't know, car shows, Cops. You know the TV series Cops, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Might have been on it a couple times.
That was me in episode 4, you know. Jeez, not some I guess it always goes down to back to big horror movie guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either psycho thrillers or basically hack and slash type of stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One of my all-time favorites is you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Classic.
73, right down there in
Texas.
Southern Texas. Yeah, yeah, I'd say I'm a horror movie guy, but then, you know, who doesn't like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? And now, if you want to get into Star Wars, which ones? You know,
Yeah.
you a Star Wars fan?
I'm an original Star Wars fan.
Okay, so I knew you were going to say that, right?
You gotta clarify.
Yeah. Well, you call it the first 3, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, episode 1, so on and so forth. But damn, I don't even usually think about that. I just get up and turn on the TV and whatever's on is on, unless it's something stupid like The View. Turn that shit off right quick.
Did you see Texas Chainsaw Massacre in theaters?
No, sir, I did not. Ran across it. I don't know, who knows what. Like, oh, speaking of random shit, Evil Dead. Remember the first Evil Dead?
As I do.
They showed that one of our high school, what was it, like prom night or something. They were in the auditorium, and this was the first time I ever saw Evil Dead. I'm like, who the hell set this up? Bingo.
That was one of the movies that scared me when I was a kid. I used to watch it from behind my grandma, especially the part where she was Linda was doing, you know, the "We're gonna get you."
Oh, when she's in the cellar?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, still
totally. Yeah, that was Jack. You can watch it now, but when it first came out, that was hardcore.
Yeah, it was for sure. Did you like Army of Darkness? A lot of Evil Dead fans kind of didn't like that one.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and say, yeah. Did I spend a couple hours checking it out? But, you know, it just kind of peters off after a while. You know, it's like,
we're talking about movies and stuff. What about early music?
Early music. I would have to say that my first incarnations of music came from my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you want a story, it's like, I remember as a young lad, maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, my parents used to clean the house on Saturdays, right? That's just what they did.
Yeah.
They're blasting, you know, Jimi Hendrix, the Trogs, Paul Revere and the Raiders, obviously the Beatles at that time, for them, not my time. Just always had music on in the background. You know?
Yeah.
Had the, you know, hi-fi system going on in the living room. Always some kind of good music. And I remember as a kid, I would borrow their albums, and it's kind of cute. And then it went from there. Oh, here's a story for you. I was probably maybe 7 years old. First album I got, Christmas. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. That's a good one. And then after that, it went to Kiss. Okay, so I've got Alive 2. You know, remember you're still a small child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking sitting there with that gatefold, the double fold album, you know, cheap ass stereo to where you have to put it on the thing and it goes click, king. Oh, that hurts, you know. Just the needle over. And then from Kiss, it went to damn. And then I bought at that time Steve Miller, "Fly Like an Eagle to the Sea." You know
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
and then it continued from there to straight up into I went into punk after that.
Mm.
So like Channel 3, Government Issue, Sex Pistols, Plasmatics. I was listening to all that shit too. And then that flip flopped into like, damn, Judas Priest, hell bent for leather.
Oh yeah.
I'm buying Maiden. Next thing you know, and actually because of my buddy in Boyd, Texas, BOYD, his dad had an album that I'm sure you're familiar with. It's called Master of Reality. Is that
Yeah,
it?
I've heard of that a couple times.
So I'm over there one day, grab it, and it's like, hey man, I'm gonna borrow this. Dude, I remember walking back to my house, got this, vinyl Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. I don't even know what it is, right? Put that bitch on, that changed everything. It did. It really did. And from there, we just went downhill.
Downhill. That's a good way to describe it. Just sticking with music, was your dad or mom or anything, were they musicians? Did anybody have any musical inclinations?
Yeah, my father played cornet in the school marching band. Mom was a piano player. My grandmother worked for the symphony for a while. My step grandfather, back at that time, was the maestro for the Garland Symphony. So it's always been around. I started taking piano lessons when I was 5, and so yeah, music's always been part of my life. Like I was saying, just that whole house cleaning thing. It's on. There's no TV. Got the hi-fi system going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before we get too far from your childhood, a question I like to ask everybody is what scared you as a kid?
Not a goddamn.
Texas is too crazy.
You saw how quick that was.
Yeah, yeah. I believe
Not
it.
a goddamn thing. It's like talking to her. I just or people ask, oh, "How do you prepare for a show?" Put my boots on, put the cigarette out. That's it. That's it. Anyway, I don't worry about shit. Now, that's not an egotistical or narcissistic thing to say. It's just I don't worry about shit.
That's a good way to be, man. Stage fright never an issue ever, even early on. First time on stage ever.
First time on stage, I was 14. First band. Wait, no, I lied. Hang on. Erase. Back up. I was 16. I'm bringing Lyle Steadham into this now. We used to have a band called The Holy, right? And Buddy down the street was the vocalist. I played guitar. First time we ever played, I think we opened up for. Okay, now you can quote me, but don't, because now I'm going to sound like I'm lying, but I ain't. It's just too much going on.
Yeah.
We either opened up for Husker Du or Channel 3 was Dead Kennedys. Anyway, so we're playing at this club in Dallas, Deep Ellum, right? Which was actually just a row of industrial buildings that were empty that a bunch of punks would go to play. But yeah, my mom, going back to my mom, but yeah, I was 15, 16. And she had to get me in so I could play. Got right up there on stage. It's like, this is it.
Balls of steel from the early on.
Well, okay, yeah, we could say that. Like I said, I'm going to use the word being non-egotistical again because that was just it. Let's fucking do it. Put your boots on. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. You said you started out with piano. In that band, you're playing guitar. When do you discover your singing voice? Did you, hit stump your toe one day and then you're like, whoa.
Ah! Yeah, actually, that I got that's a story for you too. So anyway, so me and Lyle had the Holy. You start growing up, you're 15, 16, 14, whatever the fuck. And move off, he moves there, go there. I moved to Irving, Texas. Me and Lyle started a band called Graven Image. Well, a couple of dudes sitting in the room going, let's play music. Okay, well, we were playing in the Holy. Yeah, let's do something else. So we're listening to like Merciful Fate, King Diamond. We've got Sabotage in the background. Blah blah blah. Let's do Shelly Cat. Cool. So I was originally a guitarist, and I'm going to say this to this day. You can read any interview on the planet. I was a guitarist. God damn it, I was going to be as good as Ingve, right? So we started Graven Image, and it was a 3-piece, and we had this guy Scott play drums, and so it's like, well, there's only 3 of us. Lyle was playing bass, so I was like, all right, well, I already play guitar. I guess I'll sing too. Okay, damn it, somebody got to do it. So did that. That went on for a while. We did several shows with Graven Image. He ended up, I went to college or something. But you know how things just kind of fizzle out, right?
Yeah.
So he's ending up at UTA in Arlington there. But then all of a sudden one day he gives me a call. He's like, hey, man. Oh, yeah. It's like, met this dude, John Perez. We have the same class together. Socioeconomics or whatever you have to take, And he's like, that's this really cool band that I'm going to start playing drums for. Oh, okay. So you're going back to drums. Okay, cool. Yeah, they need a vocalist. Oh, good for them. Okay. Now, see, that's not me being an ass. I'm just like, you're on the phone with your buddies, like, they need a vocalist. It's like, I play guitar, right? That's what I do. He's like, nah, man, you should, come on out. And they just lost their vocalist. Give it a shot. We play together again. Blah blah blah. Well, fuck. All right. So I drive out there. Well, before I drove out there, he came by the house. And he's like, "Here, check this out." Okay, here you go. He's like, it was Epicus Dumicus, right? He's like, ooh. Yeah. Hey, check this out, man. On cassette, right? They sound kind of like this. Never heard of Candlemass at the time. All right, this is cool. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Because at that time, I was actually hardcore into Manowar, right? So, I had freaking Manowar blasting 24/7. He's like, check this out. I'm like, damn. All right. And he's like, well, they're kind of like this. This is kind of what they're doing, or not trying, but going to do. Well, all right. All right, here's the demo of the original singer. It's a 5-song demo, it came upon one night, or Injustice for All. And so I'm like, well, shit, all right, I'll try to sound like the guy. Kris Gabehardt was the guy that was singing at the time. I'm like, all right, well, I'll do that. All right, so I go in there, basically just try to mimic the guy because I didn't know what to fucking do. Remember, I played guitar. I didn't know what to fucking do in front. What's this thing? And we did that, and a few weeks later, Lyle gets back to me. He's like, "Yeah, man, JP thought you were cool." I'm like, well, as a musician, I'm just like, I just want to fucking play.
Yeah,
that's all I want to fucking do. I just want to fucking play. And so apparently, I was awarded the gig, and here we are now.
Did a pretty good job, I guess.
I think it's just because I'm so pretty, right?
You just mentioned Manowar. I think I listen to Dark Avenger every other day still.
Yeah, good shit, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to Fire and Steel, Black Winds.
Just wanted to ask you with that graven image stuff. Was there ever any material that survived or anything? A lost demo out there somewhere?
Yes, there is. Now, if you're going to ask me where to find it, that'd be a hard no. I know there is a cassette because we did a few shows, right? There was a cassette that somebody did off the board, and there is an actual VHS of it somewhere too. Where it is, I don't know.
You kind of just took us through, the Solitude Aeturnus and how you guys came together. But you remember the first live show you guys played as a full outfit?
Oh, it's got to be the same story every time, right? But okay, maybe this was the second. I don't know, but this is the one that pops into my mind. All right, so okay, remember John was in Writing Corps, right? Or JP was in Writing Corps. Knew some people. Guy named Walt. Yada yada. Hey, get a gig. All right, cool. Go to Fort Worth. Get to this place, and basically, it's an empty warehouse. Yeah, maybe 20, 30 people in there. There's no riser for the kid or anything. It's raining. The floor is flooded. We're standing in like 2 inches of water, stomping around. Well, I guess if I get electrocuted, I get electrocuted. Whatever.
Great mood setter for the themes of the songs, though.
Yeah, but that was like one of the very first shows we ever played, and yeah, we were standing in water, no riser for the kit, just amps, haphazardly set here, and there. Okay, don't turn that on because if you turn that on, it's going to break that breaker is going to kick off. It was like, okay, so all right. It was a good time though. I mean, I cherish moments like that because it really goes back to dedication. I mean, a lot of people nowadays, I don't want to say earn your place, but you have to go through bullshit like that. I mean, I've got stories out the wazoo of just bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't trade it for the fucking world at all. Just having a good time. 20 people, they all paid like $2 to get in. Everybody's got their own beer in their hand, and we're standing in water.
That's what they call paying your dues.
Right? So yeah, that was one of the first. That's my first recollection. Fortunately, kind of went upstairs from there, but
yeah,
shit like that.
So in the early years, the first demos on into the first album, what's the typical songwriting process look like when you get in there, and how quickly are you given, the lyric job?
Well, on the first album, Into the Depths of Sorrow, we were still using material from the demo, which Kris Gabehardt did and JP had done. And then at that time, Lyle started writing a few lyrics. So all I had to do was go in there and make a fool out of myself. That was about it. So that's how the first one came about. I mean, that's true. That's what it is. Ask a question, get an answer. And then from there on, I don't know. I think without stepping outside my boundaries here at this point, I think I pretty much already had the job without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, me and Lyle go back to being 14, 15 years old, And then JP and Lyle became friends for a while. And so it was already kind of solidified.
So when you're writing lyrics yourself, do you just what's it like for you? Do you like to sit there, listen to the instruments and see what happens? Do you have a theme in your head going into it?
No, sir, I do not. My lyrics come from here, and I have what I like to call the Bible. And I scribble shit down, right? Whatever it may be. And it's usually, ain't no usually about this. It comes from life, And I've said this before. I don't write about Dungeons and Dragons and and demons and scary trees and stuff like that comes from the heart. So I scribble stuff out. Then what happens after that is like if whomever has a musical idea, check his riff out. That's the musical idea. Hey, you like this? Chunk, 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 chunk. Yeah, it's great, man. Then I will take whatever riff has been written and mentally in the process, I'll go through all the pages in my head and go, that song.
Yeah.
And then I'll make the lyrics fit to the song.
That's very cool. Has there ever been a case where a song has been born from the lyrics first?
Yeah, the song Concern, which is actually one of the first songs I actually wrote for Solitude, because I already had the lyrics and the music in my head. Yeah, Concern was like a complete package that was already done. I just basically presented it to the guys. Here you go.
Yeah.
This is going on the album. I'm showing it to you, but it's going on the album.
Just a heads up.
Just a heads up.
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but you guys played with Candlemass in '91 for the first time.
Yeah, we sure did, down in Austin, Texas. Was it Austin? Yeah, it was Austin. Austin, Texas. Yeah, we drove down there. I think we did 2 shows with those guys. Austin and San Antonio, maybe. Which, it's kind of funny. But, so we went down there and... No. Fuck no. We played in Fort Worth at Joe's Garage and then drove down to Austin, Texas. So we did 2 shows with those guys in '91.
How was that like for you? You guys are obviously fans of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a given, right?
Yeah.
I was even starstruck. I was like, holy shit, it's Messiah. God damn. And then just, it was super cool because I think that was not during Nightfall. Maybe it was Nightfall that they were doing that. Either way, it was in the earlier days, either Nightfall or Nightfall. Doesn't matter. But yeah, by that point, I was already huge fans of I was already a huge fan of Candlemass at that time. Thought Messiah was great. The guys and Leif, just the riffage. I mean, if you're into that kind of epicus, Doomicus, Metallica stuff, riffage is good. And CMass has definitely earned their place where they are as Doom Masters. I mean, I don't know. You listen to Doom, right?
Well, of course.
Or obviously, I'm you listen to everything, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like a lot of stuff today with Doom or the drone and this and that. But I mean, Candlemass brought that feeling of Sabbath back.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
Some cool riffage where you can just put it on and your head's moving like this. And you're like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like, because it's good. That's why.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's why I really like it, to be honest.
Yes. Keep it simple, stupid.
Earlier, you're talking about those shows you guys had, standing in water, and then you're playing with Candlemass. Where does the momentum start to build for you guys where you realize, oh, we got a little something going here?
We had our waders on, No, that was great. That was actually a really good kind of momentum building thing. I mean, it was, let's be honest, it was 2 shit shows in Fort Worth and Austin. Okay. Now, I can say that because I was there. But it was great. And it was like, I don't give a fuck. Fucking hanging out with fucking CMass, right?
Yeah.
It was totally cool. And then from there, we just kept doing our thing. We signed with, ended up signing with Roadrunner Roadrunner picked up the first album. And then we did Beyond the Crimson Horizon. And after that, we ended up doing 8 weeks with Paul Di'Anno.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool, right? I mean, ex-Iron Maiden guy, right?
Yeah, the OG.
the OG for sure. Right? So we did 8 weeks with Killers, and that was super cool. I mean, it was an ass beating. Don't get me wrong. It was an ass beating because it was one of our first tours. So we rented a Ford Econoline F-150, took the seats out of it, put 6 people in that motherfucker with our gear and luggage. And went from freaking South Carolina to Sacramento, right? It's just,
oh.
but it was still great, though. I loved it, man. Right?
Yeah, that's what it's about.
We had a good time. So got right off the road with that. And then we got that lucky enough to get on the road with King Diamond, Merciful Fate. Well, he had reformed Merciful Fate at the time.
Okay.
So we did like 6 weeks with Fate, so that was cool. And we did a few of our own overseas. Headlined for 4 or 5 weeks in Europe. Came back, and then you ever remember the band Savior Machine?
Not off the top of my head, but
yeah, I wouldn't expect you. They were kind of a weird. Well, I don't want to say weird. Scratch that from the book. But it was a proggy, doomish Christian type thing, right?
Okay.
Put those 3 words together.
Yeah.
Let you figure it out. Did that, that was fun. They're good guys, but so the momentum kept going, and then after that, we just started doing our own thing.
Yeah, just cool listening to you. You say you grew up on all the bands you're getting to play with early. Just curious, did you ever play with Manowar?
Missed them by 1 day.
Shit. Was it
one motherfucking day? we were in Germany, and this one place. Now you're gonna get me lying. I'm not even gonna try. This place was the big venue. This place was the small venue. We played that night. They played the next night. We had to go to freaking Greece, so we just totally missed it.
Damn. Yeah, well, maybe you'll catch them one day. They're still out there.
Well, see, they're still kicking it too.
Yeah. So just curious, we were talking about your lyric writing earlier. Have you ever considered or any desire to write a fiction or anything, short stories, anything like that, or just not interested?
Yeah, I would have to say no, not really. No. It just, that's not my kickstart.
Yeah.
So that's not a thing.
It's a different process.
It is a different process, and I really don't want jack with it. I just want
I mean, you're good at what you do, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You play with Candlemass early. Obviously, the guys liked you. What was the process of getting the call to come do the vocals for them?
All right, here's a story for you. All right, so one day, sitting at work, a little fucking cubicle hell, right? A friend of mine called me. Hey, did you hear Messiah left the band again? Really? When has he? Yeah, they're looking for a new vocalist. Well, cool. Because at the time, I was literally in the middle of recording alone. So in the process of recording alone, I'm like, cool. Well, yeah. Yeah, you should do it. Fuck that. They don't want me. Nah, bro. I'm going to send an email to Leif. Let him know you're interested. I said, do whatever you want. About 2 hours later, I get a call back. Hey, the guy Leif responded, you're in. What?
Just like that.
You got to see it coming from my side, too. I'm just like, what? Well, shit. Okay. They're going to start sending you material for King of the Grey Islands. So I shit you not. I just finished Alone. Then I'm back in the same studio with the same engineer because the guy I used, I used him for pretty much everything. So, because, you have that work relationship type of thing. Did that. And I was like, guy's nickname was JT. And I was like, hey. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, well, guess we got to do another album. So, so Leif sent me the material. Pretty much went back to back with Alone, and King of the Grey Islands.
Damn, man. That's just like a once in a lifetime type deal.
That was super cool. And I'm very appreciative of it too, because everything seemed to work out. Just finished the loan. We tightened it up, got all the buttons put together. And then this comes in. So we're doing that. I already had JT working with me. And it was just like, two brothers sitting in there because I'm in the booth. He's over there in the control room. And then, we had like that language to where you're like, that means cut it, redo, and then I'll do this. And he's like, oh, you want 3 more tracks? Yeah. Just, bam, 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 knock it out. Done. What'd you do? Put my boots on.
Hey, if you keep them on, you don't have to get ready.
No. Right after that was done, goddamn, went straight from recording King of the Grey Islands to flying to Stockholm for my first time for the 20th anniversary, hanging out with Tony Martin. And I'm still sitting here like, fanboy going, oh, what's up, bro?
I feel like the Tony Martin era gets a little pushed to the side a little too much. Those were great times in Black Sabbath.
Dude, come on. And the guy's got a voice, right? Definitely has a voice. And those moments of Sabbath, but rise up to the shining, just, hey, man, this guy knocked it out of the park. And I actually saw them in Dallas right before all that happened. They were Motorhead opened, and they did. Was it Tear? Maybe it was Tear, but regardless, it was like, this is so cool. Next thing you know, I'm sitting next to him and his wife going, what's up, bro?
Now, clearly, man, you've seen behind the curtains of, how Candlemass likes to do things. How would you compare and contrast how Candlemass approached their songwriting versus what you guys were doing in Solitude Aeturnus?
Well, as far as that goes, I really have don't call me stupid, but I have no idea. I think Leif does most of it. I can't confirm that, but I think it's pretty much just presented and done. I wasn't part of that process because at the same time I was doing SA, and even when I was flying back and forth, I was doing some SA shows. Go over here for SA, go over here for Candlemass, and it's like, what? It's nice just to get up in there and just sing. I don't think about all this bullshit because, well, bullshit, but I don't think about this bullshit. And because me and JP, we were the ones that ended up staying 24 hours a night in the control room, mixing and knocking shit out, right?
Mm-hmm.
With CMAS, I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that makes me any better. It just makes me go, God damn, I sit in the fucking control room for 24 hours. Just squish that up a little bit. Oh, fuck. Oh, we lost the track. Computer shut down. Damn it.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. Just between Solitude, Aeturnus, and Candlemass, for you personally, which would you say is what's the most difficult song to perform live for your vocal cords?
No, Jesus. Now you're going to have to make me remember names of songs. I'm just fucking with you. Seeds of the Desolate was a bitch. Seeds of the Desolate is a bitch. As far as CMAS goes, it was a comfortable range.
Yeah.
Because mind you, I was not trying to mimic Messiah.
Right. You got to do your own thing.
Well, yeah, there's no point. I mean, the guy stands on his own. I props to Messiah, right? Guy does what he does. I'm not coming in here trying to fucking steal your thunder. I don't give a shit. Do your thing, man. I'm doing my thing. But Seeds of the Desolate, if you ask that question, which you did, that was a bitch, especially when it gets to the end. I've known a couple of guitarists too that are like, God damn, why did I write that fucking solo? because now I have to recreate it, right?
Yeah. Are you familiar with Snow? You know who Snowy Shaw is, right? Guys, friends, you know him.
No clue.
Uh, I've spoken with him before, and him and the Messiah had that band together,
Yeah,
Memento
yeah.
Mori.
What? Not. It wasn't Memento Mori, was it? It was.
I think it. Yeah, I could be wrong.
No, it was Snowy Shaw was in Memento because. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Can you hear me?
and he didn't go into it. And I'm not here to sling mud or anything. But he likes Messiah as a guy, but he says he could be a little prickly when it comes to working professionally with him. And did you ever get any inkling that it was more Messiah's decision to be like, just fuck this, or was it just like, look, man, we're just moving on?
Well, here's what I can tell you is that Messiah is his own person, and again, I will give him fucking props for what he does as a vocalist. But I do not personally know the man outside of that realm. Okay, so whatever Snowy Shaw said or anybody else, I don't know. I can't. It cannot be confirmed or denied. Now I sound like a politician. Cannot be confirmed or denied.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. If you don't know, you don't know. It's just
Yeah. But actually, I've never actually met the man except for that one time in Fort Worth where I was like, "Bro, what's up? How you doing?" You know,
yeah.
yeah, that's all. That's all I got.
Yeah, as fans, obviously everybody loves Messiah as a great vocalist, and you never hear anything bad about him personally. So it's just like, what's the fucking deal? That's what we just wonder. Like, what?
Well, and you're gonna have to. I mean,
Yeah,
because and then I didn't mean that. I
yeah.
wasn't being an
No, no,
ass
no.
when I said
No,
that.
you're good, man. I got
Yeah, I
you.
wasn't being an ass, but I've heard a few things on the road,
Yeah, yeah. As
but
one does.
it stays here, right?
Yeah, it's through the grapevine. Can't
Yeah.
confirm or deny.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I have to ask, since you're from Texas, are you a sports fan?
Well, now where you headed with this, Mr. South Carolina?
I'm just I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, and we're going through it right now.
Oh shit, you went down the wrong path.
It's rough right now, man.
We're talking NASCAR all day long. You're in Dale Earnhardt territory, man.
Yeah, yeah. My
Although I'm
dad,
not
huge
gonna talk
NASCAR
about it.
fan.
Huh?
My dad, a huge NASCAR fan, took me to
Yeah.
races growing up. I was too young for NASCAR when he took me. I was just like, this is boring as shit. And we got
Is
rained
it in
out.
Talladega?
I can't remember what it was. It was it might have
That's
that might have
Alabama,
been it.
South Carolina. You're right there. You're in the thick of it.
Yeah. I remember because we got rained out, so that's really why I was pissed as a kid, because it
Oh,
was a
there you go.
boring
See, talk
situation.
about ruining your first day, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Fucking pissed off on your first day. Like, no, son, this is really cool. Really? No, that's my thing. And that and possibly throw on some baseball. Obviously, I'm a Rangers fan. Cowboys. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you're a football guy, right? Or
Football guy
are
and
you up
basketball.
into the b-ball?
I like both. I'm a big football and basketball guy. I don't follow college sports that much. I'm more of a pro guy.
Yeah.
So Rob, just curious, what would you say is the best musical advice you've been given, and who gave it to you?
Don't fuck up.
That's good life advice.
Oh, so there you go. Just put it all into one. Just don't fuck up. Musical advice. God damn, man. I don't think I've ever had any. Okay.
You're not polluted.
No, now you made me ponder on it. Okay. Not a goddamn thing. Just I was thrown in the water as a baby and just swim or sink.
On the flip side of that, what would be your musical advice you gave to somebody who was young out there?
If I had to give advice to somebody, which you have to be careful with the words you choose and use to give to somebody who might be impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'd say, if you love playing the sax, and even if you suck right now, just pick that bitch up every day, play and play and play. because you're eventually going to have that epiphany to where it locks in. And now I did that with guitar. Now I'm not talking about myself, but I am. Working on shit. It's like, God damn. And then all of a sudden, tomorrow night, you're just like, dude, I can play like anything. It just happens overnight. But you're not going to get there unless you approach it at least every day or every other day. But you have to approach it. Even if you just pick up, I'm going to use the guitar. You just pick it up, just do some scales. You don't feel like playing anymore? Set it down. But touch her every day.
That's music advice and marriage advice.
I know where you went with that. Are you married?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it really is. I mean, I've been doing this long enough to where it's like, there are days where I do not want to fucking pick up the guitar. All right? No. There are days when I just like, I want to do shit. Pick it up, run through some scales. Okay, next thing you know, 5 hours later, I'm writing the fucking Vivaldi symphony.
So you still play guitar, huh?
David.
Great. So is there any situations that's come forward in Solitude Aeturnus where you came up with a riff and you're like, hey guys, check this one out?
I don't know how to say this without sounding like a jerk, but 50% of what you hear came from me. Well, no, well, here, you can back up, delete, but there were so many times that me and JP would go to the Sure Guard, 10 billion, it's either 200 degrees in here or minus 30 because it's a Sure Guard, right? And we go up there a little bit early. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, Edgar came up with some amazing stuff. Lyle wrote some great lyrics. Now, I'm saying this because I want all the guys to have credit. I mean, Lyle did his job with fucking lyrics and coming up with riffs. Edgar, fucking master on guitar. I love fucking Edgar's playing, man. It's the way he is. And some of the shit he brought to the table was fucking amazing. JP, crazy one. Robert Lowe, more crazy, And then me and JP would go up there sometimes and be working on a riff or something before the other guys got there. And there were times there was like, dude, give me a guitar. Okay. What if we did it like this? Just look, it was give and take. It was SA has that honest band feeling where everybody contributed and everybody gave their heart and soul. And there was never a point to where if we were like, I don't know, pick a song, working on it, and we're like, whoa, what if we did this? So no egos were involved, right?
Truly collaborative.
It's
a definition of collaborative right there.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think about it. No, nobody else does. I don't give a fuck. It's SA. All right. How is it SA? Because 5 people went like this.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's how most bands would want to be, but it doesn't turn out like that a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. But I would say that I've been blessed to have that, and we're still doing it. We're headlining Kit in a couple of months. I gotta fly fucking back to Texas to go rehearse so we can fly back to Germany and do Kit.
I love that festival. I've never been, but I want to get there one day.
Oh, you should. You should.
I love their lineups every year.
Super solid, and they do have a good lineup. Oliver does a good job with what he does for the festival, and yeah, I mean, if you have a couple of grand in your pocket just laying there, not needed to be used, like any of us do, right?
Yeah. Have you guys played Hell's Heroes before?
No, this was the first time.
Okay. Yeah, that's another festival I'm gonna get to. That's a bit more in my range.
a little closer to home.
Yeah.
This year looks pretty good. I can't remember who they got lined up for it, but yeah, I mean, if you could throw down a little bit and get there, not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah. So, Rob, just to wind down here, another question I like to ask everybody near the end after they've loosened up a bit is, have you ever had an experience that you would consider supernatural, paranormal, or an event you can't explain?
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, yes. I'll leave it at that because then you need another 2 hours for me to talk about it.
What about a psychedelic experience, maybe?
Psychedelic, that would be a hell no.
Hell no. Not interested, huh?
No, I'm a beer and cigarette guy. Give me a smoke and a beer. You ready to play? Yes, I am.
That's awesome, man. Well, just to put a bow on this thing here, man, what's on the horizon? You know, you mentioned keep it true. Is there anything in the works you want to throw out there?
Well, at this point in time, let's just say that I mean you are right in the middle of contacting me while I've got offers and stuff in the make, right? So I can't confirm or deny anything at this point. But yes, looking at Kit, possibly Maryland Death Fest, possibly,
Okay.
and then this one, and maybe this one, and you know this one, right?
Hell yeah, I'll be at that one.
We're also working on the Disciple of Doom stuff. So I've got besides this one, and then maybe this one.
You got a lot of things out there. Potentially.
Putting both hands in the fire.
Yeah, that's the way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Not gonna keep you all afternoon. I know it's a little bit later over there.
Well, I know. No, it's later for you. It's only we are 6 hours ahead.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, at time I don't understand how that shit works, but I appreciate your time, Rob. I had a great time chatting with you, man.
Hey, no worries, brother. You know what? I appreciate you contacting me very
Hmm.
much. So,
And if we have a chance, I meet you down the road at a show somewhere. I'll buy you a beer.
oh fuck yeah, let's do it. I mean, honestly, Southern boy, don't be a stranger, man. Fucking, don't be a stranger.
Awesome. All right, man. You take care, and I'll send a link down the line when I get this all prettied up.
All right.
All right. Bye bye,
Good
man.
night for Dave.